Hey, what's up? It's Frankie here, and we are going to be talking about how to scale a Facebook ads agency. I got a couple of monsters and a lovely lady with me. So, when I say scale a Facebook ad agency, that probably means different things to different people. So, just to clarify, what I mean is taking that from like a handful of clients, maybe 2, 3, anywhere up to 10, and bringing it more to like 50 or 100. That to me is what scaling means. And if you've ever done that, it's a little bit of a crazy journey. You got to be a little bit crazy to even try it. And let me tell you 3 reasons why most people can't scale. And this is going to be really, really important to you because it's usually not what you do to scale, it's what you do wrong and the structure you create that doesn't support 50, 100 clients. I'll tell you the first thing that I see people do kind of religiously wrong is their margins are too small. And this is usually a function of 2 things. I just got a photo bomb. Their margins are too small from 2 things. The first is that the clients don't stay long enough. And the second is that they're charging too little. And what happens is if your margins are too small, you're going to try and bring in some people, and you're going to find that it's really, really hard to find skilled talent on a budget. In Germany, by the way, in the forest, if you hear some random Germans walking by, that explains that. These cute monsters run in the wrong direction. So one of the biggest things to do is learn how to charge more and to keep people longer. And that kind of agency actually scales a lot better than one where there's a high amount of turnover and you're charging, 500 to 1500, that kind of range usually makes it hard to do that. Now, the second thing I see that a lot of people do wrong that prevents scaling is kind of an infrastructure thing, and it's everything is here in the owner's head. Like you run your own ads and you talk to your own clients. Heidi B, you want to say hello? And what that means is if everything has to go through you, eventually you're going to run out of time and energy. And so what you have to do is really clone yourself. And I'll tell you what makes the biggest difference, at least for me, is documenting your processes. So before you go and do something, this is what I do personally anyways, I fire up Loom and I walk myself through, here's what I'm doing, here's why I'm doing it, so that I can send those instructions to somebody else and clone myself. Tell you another thing that keeps people from scaling an agency, especially a Facebook ads one, is the difference between custom and a customization. Those are my monsters over there. And the difference between the two is really, really simple. Is custom is when you do anything for anybody. So somebody calls you up and says, hey, can you run Facebook ads for a plumber? Why, yes, we can. Can you... I'm being told to walk along because it's a graveyard and I'm supposed to be quiet. I'm not being a good German. So anyway, where was I? Lost my train of thought for a second there. So yes, if you're doing everything custom, so a plumber contacts you in e-com, can you run some retargeting? You say yes, and then what ends up happening is you're doing something different for every client. That makes it really, really hard to get out of your head. So what you want to do instead is think about, like, how can I build a system that can be reused from client to client? And then what you'll find is, yeah, you might tweak a few things. Yes, honey? Yeah. I'm being attacked by cuteness. Is that customization scales far, far better when you're not reinventing the landing page every time, when you're not reinventing the ad, when you're not reinventing the targeting, but instead you're selling a complete system that you get to use again and again. I guess I'm being a bad daddy. So what you'll find is if you do those 3 things, then not only can you scale, meaning you'll make probably at least a 0, usually I find at least 50 grand a month in your agency, but you'll also make the journey of itself way easier because things will get done in a systemized, orderly fashion, and you'll get like kind of like a McDonald's level of predictability, and it becomes less important on really good, really highly skilled people to complete that. And what you'll find is actually when you bring in highly skilled people, it only makes the machine work even better. But you really got to think about putting those 3 things in place before you scale, because otherwise the whole thing gets really hard. So I hope that's helpful for you guys who are in the scaling stages right now.